Masquerade is one of the several cultural practices that are well rooted within the people of Nigeria and Africa in general. Night masquerade, as its name implies, the outing of this masquerade is usually at night. The masquerade is believed to be an adult male of the society. This person traditionally walks about the town naked in the company of numerous other adult male members of the society, performing rituals and appeasing the gods. Generally, women are forbidden from sighting this masquerade, and any woman who violates this ritual shall be put to death to appease the gods. Over the years, this cultural practice has generated heated argument and concern, especially from human rights activists and feminists. The controversy about this practice relates to some rules which are considered discriminatory against women. What has been of concern to human rights activists in general is not the fact that women are forbidden from participating in this cultural phenomenon, but the fact that the practice places restriction on some fundamental rights of women in the society. Women's freedom of movement is restricted whenever the night's masquerade is scheduled to tour the town. This has led to the loss of lives of several women, especially in situations of health emergencies, which required urgent medical attention. Such women have been disallowed from being taken to the hospital for medical care on the ground that the night masquerade was in town. Most pathetic and rather tragic in this regard are the cases of pregnant women undergoing child labor, whose lives and those of the unborn babies have been lost to the practice in the name of custom and tradition. In Nigeria, as in most other nations, the right not to be discriminated against on the basis of sex is well entrenched in the 1999 Constitution. There are also several regional and international human rights instruments which affirms the equality of men and women by providing that no one be discriminated against on the basis of sex. Plethora of judicial authorities abound Nigerian human rights jurisprudence and those of regional and international human rights treaties, which firmly affirm the equal status of men and women in a civilized society. What shall we say then about this practice in Nigeria? There have been counter-arguments that the right to cultural practices is also well entrenched under the international law, and it will be a product of short-sightedness to argue that a cultural practice is discriminatory and therefore a violation of the equal rights of men and women, without due regards to the provision of international instruments which guarantee the right to cultural practice to every people. Led to crisis in the domain of human rights, and study needs to be undertaken in this regard to resolve the collision. This very video assumes that this lofty responsibility. In African culture, women are presumed not to know much about masquerades, let alone wear the masks and perform the masquerade as their male counterparts do so in parts of Africa. But the National Commission for Museum and Monument have revealed that there are masquerades prepared and performed by women in Igbo and Yoruba societies. In a seminar paper delivered by Teresa Obikugu of the Research Planning and Publication Department, National Museum, Lagos, Teresa reviewed masquerading and the historical emergence of two female masquerades, Obodenyi female masquerade in Igbo land and Gelede masquerade of the Yoruba land. She disclosed what happened that led to the birth of the two masquerades that are organized and performed by women, though from different tribes, locations and cultures, but all in Nigeria. Obodenyi female masquerade, she said, is from Izi village in Nkilika town, now known as Abakaliki in Ebonyi state of Nigeria, while Gelede masquerade is from Yoruba land. She narrated the belief and the cultural attachment values of the two masquerades, their similarities and their differences. Her presentation also discussed about the functions of the masquerades, noting the Christianity and Westernization influence and how they have affected African cultures, traditions, and beliefs. Teresa remarked that the effect has caused a reduction of interest of the natives towards their beliefs, culture, and tradition, while in some other cases, people ignore, neglect, or reject entirely their beliefs, culture, and traditions. Tracing the origins of both female masquerades, Okoye notes that most Yoruba myths of origin in a divination narrative known as Odoifa that are approximately 256 in number, each of which contains a number of poems called Isaifa, and Isaifa explain the origin of Gelede as beginning with Yomoja, mother of all Orisa and all living things. Yomoja could not have children after marriage. She consulted an Ifa oracle who advised her to offer a sacrifice and to dance with wooden images on her hand and mental anklet on her feet. After performing this ritual, she became pregnant. Her first child was a boy nicknamed Ife. On Obodenyi, the only known tradition of masquerading by women in Igbo land, Teresa disclosed that the masquerade began due to the mysterious death of children from illness attributed to unspecified evil spirits, which made the community sought for divine intervention of an oracle, which granted them their petitions. This intervention brought about the dispelling of the evil spirits. Order between the human and supernatural realms was restored, and the death stopped. However, in return for Uke's interception and patronage, the oracle, in a dream to the priestess, made an extraordinary and unique request. Uke asked Nklika women to organize and dance Obodenyi in its honor. In preparation, women began by consuming the elephant marks and bell-shaped Rafa costume. They selected leaders and learned Obodenyi song, dances, and the music. Teresa said that Obodenyi female masking tradition began in 1975 in Izi village and measures at 24 cm in height, 25 cm in width, and 40 cm in length. She said, it is made of wood and paint. The head of Obodenyi is oriented horizontally with two tusk, comical eyes, a tiny elongated humanoid nose, and a misplaced trunk erupting from the forehead. It comes out only when Uke acts, usually once or twice a year on a special occasion such as the funeral of titled women member. She said that the Gelede masquerade costume and headdresses consist of layers of elaborate colorful clothes, more accurate, and a headdress that rests on top of the head, and performer's face is covered by a cloth veil. The headdress takes the form of a human head, on the top of which motifs that are intended to entertain the outlookers, but in addition usually address a social concern that may also be expressed in songs that are part of the masquerade. The headdresses are usually painted in bright colors and makes individuals or families to go at any length to make theirs as attractive as possible. The functions of both female masquerades includes entertainment such as in annual festivals or burials of members. They are also used to expose and correct the ills in the society, promote the traditions and cultures of a group of people, and performed in order to appease the land and gods for an abomination committed on matters of fertility. In her conclusion, Teresa stated that in the past, most cultures, traditions were highly practiced and appreciated by Africans until the advent of Christianity and Westernization. She, however, said that some of the rich cultural endowment still practiced in different communities help to keep African cultural heritage alive, while the ones that are faded out have their objects of worship displayed in museums for posterity. Some of the objects sometimes are displayed in the exhibition for lovers of arts to view and appreciate our rich cultural heritage, she said. Thank you so much for watching this video on Frank Speaks. Do remember to like, drop a comment, and also subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos coming through.